All right, guys, welcome to my another video. So we're gonna check out some Asmund Goal again about the Iranian thing, Iranian protest, because I don't know, it's geopolitics, and I love geopolitics. So yeah, let's see. All right, as you can see, I'm subscribed to him, and you guys should be subscribed to him too. All right, let's go.
Take a look at this, guys. They're really popping off. Iran
Yeah,
protests
they
enter the
are.
third day. So this has been going on, updated 52 seconds ago. Dear brave
Shit.
compatriots, your presence in the streets. Okay, yeah, obviously, they're trying to support this. Let me see if I can find any more of these. The coverage from the growing protests. Iranian opposition leader Pahlavi urges the end of the regime. I hope the
Yep.
terror regime of Iran is finally taken down. Where's Greta, Ruffalo, Javier, Joaquin, Miranda from Sex and the City? Where are all the college kids? Why aren't they speaking up for the people of Iran?
They don't
Well,
care.
the reason why is that, so you have to understand that all of these
They
people
don't give a
hate
shit.
America, they hate American values, they hate Western values, and they will always side with the more un-American side. It doesn't matter what it is, but they will always fall off on that side of the fence.
Because those people have suicidal empathy. The blue hair woke retards, they have suicidal empathy. They will be, they will support a fascist, they will support a Islamic regime, they will support a nut job regime like that instead of democratic values because they say that they want equality, but they don't. They don't. And they don't study also. Holy shit, yeah. People are probably caught. There are some
Jesus.
like
So they're
people with
actually
like there are some probably cops or probably army people with some vest, probably rounding up some protesters there.
arresting protesters now?
Yep, they're arresting protesters. Protesters.
Yeah, your own stream is like your own domain expansion. Exactly. Yeah, I have no interest in that at all. Let me go back and see if I can find this. If Iran would change, the whole Middle East would change. Take note. Oh, I think he's completely right about this. This is true. Iran is probably the biggest destabilizing force in the Middle East. It's either Iran or Israel, right?
If you get rid of the regime that is on power on Iran, sorry, if you get rid of the regime that is on power on Iran, sorry, my voice was hoarse. Uh, like Hezbollah be will not get any funding, ISIS won't get any funding, Hamas won't get any funding because all of those like terrorist organization they get funding from the Islamic Republic of Iran. So if you can get rid of the regime, so many wars, the wars and also the Houthis, yeah, the terrorist organizations will be. I mean, they can't get funding from any other country. So the war on Lebanon, the war on Syria, the war on Palestine and Israel, they will virtually stop pretty soon if you get rid of the Islamic Republican of Iran, if you get rid of the regime that is power on Iran, and if you put a democratic government on Iran, because guess what? They steal the money from the country, not give it to the people, not give it to the progress of the country's people, but funding proxy war uh, with terrorist organization in different countries. And that's why they don't have any water, electricity bill is high, they don't have any like oil or petroleum. Even those prices are high. People are sleeping in public buses because they don't have any electricity in their own house.
And I'd say you could make a pretty good argument for either one. So yeah, where's the rest of these? I think this is the one that I saw before already, and happening right now are retreating. The Islamic regime forces are retreating from the anti-Islam pro-Shah demonstrators. Are they really
Damn.
anti-Islam or are they just anti?
Yeah, a lot of yeah, okay. So here's the thing. Because the Islamic Republican regime, the Khamenei regime, okay, it's confusing. The first guy who took power, his name is Khomeini, And then his successor, his name is Khamenei. Yeah, I know. They sound the same, but yeah. So because they enforced Islam so hard on the common people are sick and tired of Islam. Iran, it's, Iran is the most anti-Islam country in the whole planet. I know it sounds like bonkers, but it is the truth. Most mosques in Iran are closed. People don't really go to the mosque. People don't give a shit about the mosque. Iran is the most anti-Islam country on the planet with a hardcore Islamist regime that is ruling the people. So you can understand what's the situation there with the common general public there. They don't care about Islam. A lot of people are very interested about Zoroastrianism, which is their ancient religion in Iran. Zoroastrianism originated from Iran. It's a monotheistic religion too, which predates Judaism, Christianity, and also Islam. Yeah, so lots of Iranian people, they don't really care about Islam, or they care about Christianity or atheism or Zoroastrianism, which is which is like absurd. Like I know, like when Iran was becoming Islamic, there were a lot of Zoroastrian people who fled Iran, moved to India, and that's the community that is known in India. They're called Parsi. They follow Zoroastrianism. Like there is a famous Indian company, the Tata. They're all Zoroastrians. They follow that religion. They are Iranian. Like their ancestors fled Iran few years ago, came to India, settled in India. They became very prominent businessmen eventually. So yeah, so Iranian people don't really care about Islam, and Islam was not their original religion also. So they are becoming very interested in Zoroastrianism because of the regime. Because when you push an ideology in you onto your throat very hard, and okay, that sounds weird, but when you push an ideology to a group of people or to a population of people that extremely, guess what? They will reject it because they will get sick of it because they know that how Iran was when the Islamic regime was not on power. Islam was not enforced that harshly. Iran was much more of a secular country, much more westernized country, much more a developed country. Now they don't even have water, they don't have oil, and they produce oil like one of the most oil producing country in the oil on the whole country, on the whole planet, and they can't even buy oil. I mean, come on, like really? They don't have any water because Iran has lots of water, but they don't have any water. So where are the resources going? Where are the overlords not taking care of us? Because at the end of the day, common public cares about one thing: providing for their family, creating a better scenario for the future generation so that the future generation have a better lifestyle than they have. But if an ideology doesn't allow that, they're not going to care about that. Let's face it. Whether it is communism, whether it is capitalism, whether it is monarchy, whether it is Islam, whether it is any other religion, they're not going to care for it because at the end of the day, they just want a better life. People just want a better life. So yeah, that's what's happening in Iran.
I think a lot of them are still Islamic. Yeah.
Oh, they are not. Trust me, they are not. Holy shit, things are popping off, man.
Jesus.
Holy fuck.
Holy. Jesus.
Yeah. Holy jeez.
Yeah, this is good. I thought he's saying the F word, right? I keep hearing that. Today, Iranian women joined in the uprising. Seeing how they're at the
Oh
front line and one woman leads, other
shit.
follows. Don't be afraid, we're together. Oh my
Holy
God.
fuck. Okay, look, if any in any protest the women's comes forward, yeah, I mean, yeah, men will come forward, but if women's come forward, damn, the protest is taking up steam. Damn. Like, if women's are on the front line in any kind of protest, the whole global media is gonna focus on that protest even more. Come on, because women don't really wanna like naturally women don't really are when it comes to like physical conflict or protest, women don't really do that unless you are a blue hair woke retards. Yeah. But generally women don't do that, and also in an Islamic country where women are instructed to stay in the house, not get out, and if they are coming out, things are bad when things like that happen.
Wow.
Yeah, you go, sister. Fuck the regime.
Damn.
Down with the regime. You go,
Hopefully, they
sister.
can actually do something about this. I'm going to be honest. There's about time it has to happen.
Yeah, 45
2025 is the
years.
entire world devolving into one big PvP server? Exactly.
Yeah, 25. 2025, so many protests like 2000 from 2019 to 2025. I think we are living in an age where young people, most of the young people in most of the countries, if you don't give them an opportunity to work and provide for their family, they're gonna go off and they're gonna topple the government. Because internet made it very easy because everybody can see how life is for the other population throughout the whole world. Like, yeah, people from like, okay, let's take like somebody from Denmark or a group of young people from Denmark can see how life is for a young person same age as them in America. People from America can see uh, how is life for people, young people, let's say in another country, let's say like an Asian country, like in China or Japan. So if they feel in their heart that, oh, well, I don't have any opportunity to better my life, where people who are similar age like mine in another country can live a better life than me, why the fuck I would live a life? Why the fuck would I live a life like this where I don't have any opportunity? Okay, I need to create opportunity. If I can't create opportunity, fuck the government. I'm gonna topple the government. So from 2019, why I'm saying 2019, because in 2019 there was in Sri Lanka they toppled the government. In 2024 they toppled the government in Bangladesh. In 2025, they toppled the government in Nepal. Yeah, I mean, if you guys remember, the the government people was literally trying to go away from the country while riding a helicopter, trying to climb the helicopter as the helicopter was flying above him, and groups of people were trying to get to him. Yeah, that happened in Nepal. And also in 2025 in Indonesia, also in Serbia. I mean, Serbia, I don't think they had a chance to topple the government, but in Indonesia, a minister was burned alive, and Nepal, a wife of the prime minister was burned alive. Yep. And also there are protests in England, no king's protest. They don't want the monarchy. They're sick and tired of King Charles and the Keir Starmer government. There are protests against anti-migration in Australia. Yeah, things are popping off. Things are popping off everywhere in the world because internet made it easier. Because gone are the days when you just live your life in your own bubble. Now everybody's connected through internet, so information goes through. So you just when so every government has to figure out whenever they get power, has to figure out how do I create a situation where young people are busy. By young people, I mean like 17 to 35, that age range. Because those are the people who are be working. They're the like the most important workforce. 'Cause, yeah, if you're in your 40s, you don't have that much strength and stuff like that. Yeah, so they're not gonna care about life that much. And any younger than that, I mean, they're still kids. So 17 to 35 or 17 to 39 or 40, you have to cater to them, to that age demographic, and you have to create ample opportunities for that age demographic, because those are the people who can go to war and fight. If you don't give them job, guess what? They're gonna fight you, they're gonna go to war against you, and they're gonna topple the government. So every government needs to understand that I cannot put this that group of people, these people, uh, like without any work. So yeah, gone is the era where you can just like not create any opportunity. You have to create an opportunity to stay in power. Otherwise, you'll be kicked out of power.
And it's crazy how bad this is getting. It is. It's nuts. Waiting for iDubbbz to comment? Yeah, exactly. That way you know what to think.
Yeah.
Of course.
Holy shit. Yeah. Fucking yeah, man. Is that hijab? Are they taking off hijab and that's just like freaking swinging it on the air? Holy shit, man. They're really not giving a fuck about Islam anymore. In Iran, damn.
Jesus, man. Oh my God. And things have to get bad before it gets good? Well, things seem
Yeah.
to be pretty bad over there. Apparently, they don't even have water. Like, I mean, yeah, I bet they're fucking mad.
Sorry, I
A
was
third night
grabbing
of
some water.
anti-regime uprising. I urge you to keep the following in mind. When Iran rises up, it's not because of Israel or Mossad organized it. It's a result of 47 years of misery, death, and oppression. That's what's crazy is that it's
47
only been
years. I thought
47 years.
45
That
years.
means that I
Damn.
bet a lot of people in Iran remember the way it used to be before they took over.
Oh yeah,
I
they
think
definitely do.
that's a really really big component to this.
And I heard it in a report that where the people who originally protested against the Pahlavi regime, the king regime, where they wanted democracy and they wanted to get rid of the emperor, not emperor, well, king or emperor, yeah, you guys know what I mean. So they, like I heard that they were protesting some old boomers, yeah, Iranian boomers who fucked up the country, got the Islamic regime on power. They said, like, we apologize to our kids and grandkids that we fucked up the country. So they were protesting like that. I heard it, like, I think 1 year ago or 2 year ago, I heard it. I heard something like that. So yeah, even they acknowledge that we fucked up, and we fucked up bad for the next generation and also for the generation after. So if the people who originally got rid of the monarchy demanding for the monarchy to come back, yeah, the regime fucked them over like hard.
At least I think it is. I think it's a huge component.
Damn,
Who
man.
needs water? All we need is pop soda. Yeah, true. And yeah, just feed them Brondo, right?
Bro,
Watch Iranian students are pushing back against armed Islamic. Oh my God.
holy shit. Yeah, even the. Oh, shit. Yeah, you have to understand this. Armed police, they are probably definitely armed with ammunition and like bullets, but people don't care. People don't give a shit. People don't want to live like this. People are like, yeah, yeah, if I'm gonna die, die. I don't give a shit. At least there are 20 people behind me. They will get a hold of this policeman and they will fucking like got over that police guy, and eventually we'll go to the palace and presidential palace or palace or whatever, the Islamic Republican palace, and they'll get rid of the leader, supreme leader. Yeah, Iran has a supreme leader. Yeah, they'll get rid of the supreme leader because you have to understand that Iran has ministers and presidents, but anything the president needs to do, he has to ask for permission from Khamenei, Ayatollah Khamenei. No. Ayatollah Khamenei is the first guy. Ugh, man, that's confusing. But Khamenei, yeah, let's say yeah, Khomeini, yeah, fucking hell, yeah, Khamenei. Without his permission, he can't really do anything. So yeah, because he's the most respected cleric or the supreme leader of the clerics. This is what happens when you like, imagine. Okay, so it's kind of like that. You have a elected president in your country, but the president, in order to take any step, he has to go to the Pope and ask for permission. Without Pope giving a go ahead, the president can't really do anything. Like, I mean, come on, man. That's a fucked up system, is it not? Holy shit! Can you see the people? They're like going over the barricades and
Holy
like,
shit.
fuck
Oh, here they
off.
come.
Yeah, here comes the
They
mob.
broke in containment.
Oh, the confrontation. They're
Jesus.
throwing stuff. They're throwing stuff to the police.
The
Holy
crazy thing too is like this is pretty peaceful, I would say. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a few people like throwing like I don't know, that's rocks or something like that. I don't even know. Like that's obviously bad, but besides that, it's just a handful of people, and they're just walking around. Okay, all right.
All
well,
right,
never
all
mind.
right, all right. That guy just body checked that guy. Fuck yeah, like, get down, bitch.
That lasted for 2 seconds.
Yeah. Holy
Yep.
shit.
Well, it was a good like 3 or 4 seconds though, right, guys?
Yeah, they're throwing bottles.
Mostly
They're,
peaceful.
holy shit, they're shooting.
Oh my god.
Fuck. They're shooting at the police, like they're throwing bottles, they're fucking body checking, like body slamming the police, and now they're throwing bottles. Fuck me.
I wonder if this is actually going to make a big enough difference.
Oh yeah, it will.
I do. I wonder if this
It
is
will.
going to be big enough to them for them to actually like make a real change, right? And clip card on it.
If not this one, the next one definitely will. Because there have been severe protests like that throughout many years in Iran. Like started with Masa Amini's killing, like the one girl who didn't wear hijab and was tortured in police custody and was killed. She was like 22 or 21, something like that, in her 20s. After that, women came out in droves, burning hijab. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. So, like, so this is the nature of protest, or this is the nature of like getting rid of oppressive regime. Your first protest, they're not gonna do that much. It's gonna be like sequential waves of protest again and again, again and again, again and again. Eventually the last one will get rid of the regime. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at this point now. And the regime knows too.
X, it's my prediction. Yeah, bro, like that's fucking funny. And wow. And entire cities across Iran are flooding with people.
Breaking news. The Persians have awoken.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Persian lion has
Knock the
awakened.
fucking flag over.
Entire cities in Iran are flooding with people.
Oh
Not
my
whispers,
God.
Roars. From Tehran to
They're
the
supposedly using live ammo on them now?
provinces.
Oh, yeah,
the
no
streets
doubt.
are
Yeah.
alive. Men, women, students, workers, retirees. One message, one demand.
Shit.
Enough. Enough of the Islamic Republic. Enough
Yeah.
of repression. Enough of broken promises and stolen futures.
True.
Yeah.
Crowds are
I think what's happened, this is the reason why you're seeing worldwide protests. It's because of the internet.
Yeah, like I said.
It's because
yeah.
people can use the internet and they can look up what their own country used to be like.
Yeah.
In a weird way, like obviously the Iranians have it like 100 times worse than we do, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the same basic thing that's happening here in America. Is that Americans are looking at they're watching old TV shows, they're seeing old, like advertisements, they're looking at old movies, and they see, wait a minute, none of this stuff was happening back then. Why is it always happening now? Like, what is this? How is this guy that's working this menial job own a whole house? He's got a wife and 2 kids, and he has 2 cars. How does that happen? And it's like, the guy works on an assembly line or something like that. So people
Damn,
realize and they're able to understand what they've lost, And I think because they can do that, now you really start seeing them rise up. Now
Yeah.
you start seeing them lose their fucking temper and get furious about it. And it doesn't matter whether it's Indonesia.
People are popping off because it's just because like compared to the past, compared to my grandfather or compared to my grandfather's father, here I am. My life sucks. My grandfather, like people, this is what people's mindset is like, oh, my grandfather just had a normal job, worked in a factory job, could afford a house, could get a car, could put kids through school. But what the fuck's wrong with me? Even if I go to university or even if I go to college and I get like great like degrees education, I got shit ton of student loan. I don't even get a normal job. I have to work in Starbucks as a barista, paying student debt. What the fuck? Like I might never pay my debt, and I couldn't even afford a house, let alone an apartment. I have to like get an apartment with some of my buddies, share rooms. What the fuck? Like people don't want to live like that. That's why country needs to have manufacturing jobs. If you completely outsource your manufacturing, like it's gonna be beneficial for the business, but it's not gonna be beneficial for the common public of the country itself. Because people need to work. You need factories. Like people don't like developed countries. They don't live in their countries are not like agricultural country where you work on the field. So it's not like the 1800s. You whatever you eat, whatever you grow on your field, and sell your crops, and then get some money and buy other things to eat. That's not the world that we live in, at least for most of the countries.
Indonesia, Malaysia, Iran. I think the same thing is happening to a degree in China, even. That's why they're
Yeah.
trying to control the internet there. Why do you think they're trying to control the internet? It's because they don't want people to see this. They don't
Oh
want
yeah.
people to realize that actually there is a world out there that's better, but it's worse because of the way that they've made it. That's the entire reason why they do this.
Yeah, but even if you try to control internet, even in China, I mean, they got VPNs. People have figured out ways like, okay, yeah, the government is trying to restrict flow of information, but people will figure out a way to get that information anyhow. So it's a losing battle for the hierarchy for the hierarchy of the society who wants to control large number of population and fatten up their pocket. It's a losing battle for them. Like in the end, I'm sorry. Yeah, they can't control the flow of information. People will figure out a way to get the information they want to get. So so that's why if anybody who's running for office in any country, they need to make sure that they can create opportunity for the young people being a group of people from 17 to 49, 17 to 39 or 17 to 35. That age group of people can get jobs and work hard. If you don't let them have jobs, anarchy. If you can't make that group of people happy with their job, at least there will be anarchy.
The conversation moved to the internet? Yes, exactly. Married with Children is such a good show. Yeah, well, all I'm saying is like it is a common thing that's been going on more and more.
Yeah,
For
and
the
it
end
will
of the
happen even
Islamic
more.
Revolution and free Iran from the regime
Yep.
that rules by fear. In the streets, all the last 2 days, a name is rising again. Reza Pahlavi calls for the crown prince
Yeah.
to lead a
This
new
is the
free
yeah, it's
Iran,
the prince or
echoing
Shah,
across the
the unironic prince of Persia.
Yeah,
Support for
is the
restoring the
true Prince
monarchy
of
is
Persia.
re-emerging in public. Reza is calling for a regime change and a democratic transition for Iran. This isn't just a
Oh,
protest.
wow,
Yeah.
that's
This
cool.
is
I
Like
don't even
so he's literally a prince and he's part of the royal family, but he's demanding democratic Iran. That's good. That's good on him, man. That's pretty nice. He could have stayed as a king, but he's trying to be like, okay, no, I'm gonna put a democratic thing. That's good. That's good. That's a guy with integrity right there.
Know if it's really, I mean, like, because the guy, I mean, he used to be the prince, right? I mean, I don't know if they even really want a democracy. I just think that they don't want to be oppressed and they want to be able to have water,
Yeah.
right? I mean, a lot of these countries, like, I don't think that all of these countries need to run on Western democracy. They just don't want to run on nothing. Like, they don't want to run on oppression where they can't use the internet, they don't have food, and the country's a shithole.
Basic, like I said again, look, the common people, they just want to provide for their family and put food on the table and have a better life. That's it. Normal, better life. They don't want to be billionaires. They don't. Not everybody wants to be a billionaire. They want to provide for their family. They want to put their kids through school so that their kids will have a better life than they had. All they want is that. That's it. They don't give a shit whether it's a king who makes it happen. They don't give a shit whether it's like a democratic president does that or whether it's a prime minister who does that. They don't give a shit. So yeah, that's why. And also, I believe, look, I believe most of the Islamic country, Islam, like democracy and Islam can't coexist together. I'm sorry, they can't because democratically, like in an Islamic country, if you put democracy, it's not gonna work. How do I know it? I live in a country which 92% people population is Muslim, and it has been democracy for several decades, and it's not working at all. It's not. So you need benevolent dictators like in an Islamic country like MBS, the Saudi Arabian prince. Yeah, he's not king, but he's practically running the country, and he's making progress in Saudi Arabia. Like women can vote, women can now freaking drive, women can now join universities, women can learn music. Yeah, there are dance bars, you can buy alcohol, you can freaking like women can go on sports, women can eventually women will probably be going on Olympics representing Saudi Arabia. If he was not a dictator, yeah, he is a dictator, but he's a benevolent dictator. If he didn't like dictate, if a democratic leader tried to do that, the Islamic clerics or the fundamentalists, they won't let it happen. But with a dictator, if the clerics or the fundamentalists tried to oppose that, he would just put them on jail, and that's what he's doing. And that's why the common people of Saudi Arabia, they're living a better life. Because th- you have to understand, he knows this. He knows this that oil is not an infinite resource, that oil is a finite resource. Eventually, they will run out of oil. Then what? They need to like have like a because most people in Saudi Arabia, they don't really work. They just like get a cut of the money from selling oil from the government, and they don't even pay tax. Yeah, they'll just freaking like buy expensive cars like sports cars and drive, enjoy life, eat food. They can't even watch movies in the past, but nowadays, yeah, there are movie theaters, there are nightclubs and stuff like that. So yeah, if you create incentives, yeah, this is what life can be. You can encourage the people, the common people, that hey, you need to work for it. All right, you need to work for it. The oil money, the gravy train of oil money, it's not gonna be forever. You need to work for it. So yeah, they're creating universities, trying to educate people. Eventually, oil will run out, the gravy train will run out. So you need to, if you wanna maintain your lifestyle, you need to work hard for it, and you need to create you need to work for it. You need to create jobs for it. You need to create business for it. So yeah, he knows that. That's why he's taking that attempt. But let's say down the line there comes another Islamic fundamentalist Islamic leader, then what? Then they will stop all that progress and they will put women back into the house, never, like, with niqab, they can't even get out of the house and stuff like that. And eventually the oil reserves dries out. Then what will happen? Then the same thing will happen to Saudi Arabia before the discovery of oil. Bunch of nomadic people selling fish, catching fish from the coastline, selling fish, and getting some money from the Hajj, because all the pilgrims from all over the world comes here to do the Hajj, and they get the money from there. That's it. And they sell trinkets when the Hajj is happening. Before the discovery of oil, that's how Saudi Arabia was. People used to ride on camels. So, yeah, if oil wasn't discovered, oh, trust me, the Middle East would be a different Middle East. Just search. If you look up photos of Middle East before the discovery of oil, the black and white photos, you would understand what I am talking about. Even before that, Iran was a very prosperous country. Even discovery of oil, Iran was a very prosperous country. After discovering of oil, Iran became even more richer. From that to now, Iran being one of the highest producer of oil, but the common public don't have any energy, don't have any electricity in their household, don't have any water. People know, people in Iran know, they knows the fact that Iran is one of the highest producer of oil in the whole wide world, but we don't have any energy, we don't have any electricity. That's why we are sleeping on the public buses. People knows that. And do you think the general public will give a shit about the regime like that? An oppressive regime on top of that, who will put you in jail because you didn't greet people properly, you didn't wear the proper dress. People, I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And the when is very soon.
Like, that's it. They don't want to be ruled by Islam. I don't think that no, I think that
Yeah,
they do
they
like
don't
it. A lot
they
of them
don't
are
wanna.
probably Islamic, but they're not. And but to be fair, I think that the fastest growing religious group in Iran is Christians. So I mean, obviously that's growing; it's getting bigger. But you know, Christians are still a very tiny minority there. But all that being said, I think that they're okay with Islam, but they don't want it to be the radical, fundamentalist, oppressive Islam
Yeah.
that the Iranian people are dealing with. I mean, there's obviously a spectrum of this, and they don't.
No, there aren't. I'm sorry, Yasmin. There aren't. I can't agree with you on that. The Islam that you see in Iran, that's the true Islam. I'm sorry, that's the true Islam. If you follow the book, if you follow the actual laws of Islam, because in Christianity, there's a concept, the separation of church and state, but in Islam, there is no church and state. The Khalifa, the guy who rules all Islam, all Muslims, it's basically like the emperor. He is the head cleric. Yeah, that's the concept of Islam. So the head cleric is also the president of the country. That's what Islam is. There is no separation of church and state. The church rules the state. That's Islam. So it's not like a Christian. It's not like a Christian country where yeah, you got a church. Like, let's take for example Italy. Yeah, the Vatican is there. It's like the highest church in Catholicism. But the Pope doesn't really do anything about foreign policy, doesn't really do anything about defense, doesn't really do anything about economics. He's just there, he's a figurehead, like that's it. But if he runs the country on top of being the head cleric or on top of being the Pope, That's not gonna work because politicians they need to be pragmatic. If a politician is too idealistic and follow only one idea, what about the rest of the people with different ideas? He's not gonna work with them. He's gonna probably oppress them, execute them. So a politician needs to be pragmatic and take the better ideas of different sects of people, try to create a better society. If everybody in a society has the same idea, it's it's not going to create a society which will eventually progress. This is what's wrong, fundamentally wrong with Islam, because the church and state will be never separated. The head cleric is also the president. So yeah, you need either benevolent dictator like MBS. Yes, I mean honestly, I don't think he's a Muslim. He's an ex-Muslim, but yeah, I mean he shows to the people, to the common public, that yeah, I practice Islam and blah blah blah. But the most of the steps that he's taking now in his country, oh, they are farther away from Islam than actual Islam is. But imagine if you was a fundamentalist. Yeah, women would still be in the house. They would never get out. They would never be allowed to drive. They would never be able to like get out of the household. Men will just get out of the household, buy things. But this is what Islam is. Like is Islam is not like any other ideology or any other religion. It's a fundamentally down to his bone, very different ideology than most other ideology that there is.
Want it to be that much.
National
That's
awakening.
it.
Iran is rising. Persia is rising again.
Oh
God
man,
bless
Yep.
Iran.
the old flag is so cool. A lion holding a freaking sword, like, and there's a sun. Man, that's a cool ass flag.
This is amazing. I'm really happy to see this. Students of the
Me too.
University of Tehran joined the mass protest. Tehran is their capital.
Yep. Tehran.
Damn.
Holy shit, man. That's a lot of students. Damn.
God damn. Look at all this. Persia
Yeah,
hates
man.
Sharia law.
Oh yeah,
I think
Pasha.
that there's a huge spectrum to it. There's like I know plenty of people that are Muslims that are I know Muslims that drink alcohol, okay?
Oh yeah.
Like it's the same as Christian, right? It's the same thing where the more that somebody is, in another country, it's another culture. The religion, it's like a flavor of their life, but they're not necessarily following all the rules, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, and a Muslim? Well, that's not what they say. They think they are. Yeah. It's about Reformation. I don't
Holy
think they're going to
shit.
have a Reformation. At least
You have to also understand that most Muslims they actually never lived in a life. They never lived in a country where it's complete 100% Sharia. Not at least in modern times, except for Iran. When a country goes full Sharia, it becomes like Iran or it becomes like Afghanistan. You remember like what's happening in Afghanistan? They banned women from studying in school. Okay, they banned women cannot speak out loud in street, and they also banned that women can't really get out of the house. So whenever when you go to Afghanistan, guess what you will see? Bunch of sausages with AK-47 roaming on the street. No woman, nothing. Yeah. So when you go full Sharia, look at Afghanistan. It's like probably the closest thing to perfect implementation of Sharia. See Afghanistan. Iran also doesn't do complete Sharia. It used to, but it doesn't anymore because people are sick and tired of it. But If you want to see complete 100% Sharia in action, well, close to complete 100% Sharia in action, Iran, sorry, Afghanistan, perfect example for it. And ask yourself, would you want to live in a society society like Afghanistan? Would even Afghani people who lives in Afghanistan, they want to live in society like Afghanistan? No, they don't wanna. Trust me, they don't wanna. That's why you have so many Afghani refugees coming to US, coming to Europe, coming to Germany, because they don't want to live in Afghanistan. But here's another problem of the spectrum. They come to a country like a Western country, and they wanna make their country, they wanna make their host country, let's say America or Germany or Sweden, like Afghanistan. But bro, like you escaped a hellhole, and you wanna make the paradise that you're living in into a hellhole? Why? I never understood that. I never understood why they wanna do that. That's why like third generation or fourth generation Muslim migrants kids, maybe not the first generation, but definitely the third, second, or fourth generation or third generation kids who are born in a Western country, they become more Islamic and more radicalized because the Western countries allows organizations like Islamic Brotherhood, Islamic the Dawa guys, and the freaking CARE organizations like that operate within those community, and those young kids who didn't know how shitty life was for their parents or for their grandparents back in their homeland, and they wanted to escape that life. They think that no, 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 I need to live a more Islamic life. That's why you see so many conflicts in UK, in Australia, also in like Dearborn, Michigan, and also in Sweden. So fundamentally, like this is the thing. Like you remember, like one Arab guy said that there would be more extremists coming from Europe. He was right because you let nut job organization, radical preachers preach this hate among young people who were born in Western countries. You can indoctrinate them because those people are probably ostracized because most Islamic community they become a ghetto, and when you live in a ghetto you it's very easy to hate the anybody else who is not from that ghetto. So yeah, it's a fundamental societal issue in most Western countries which not many leaders are trying to fix, because you need to ban those organizations permanently, and radical preachers put them in jail. Because if you could get them, yeah, most people they will just live normally. I don't give a shit about. Because if you brainwash them for a very early young age, they will try to be extremist. That's why more kids who are Muslims joined ISIS rather than joining the British Royal Forces or British Armed Forces. I'm like, really? And they are born in England.
Not with this. Do you think the CIA and Mossad, to some degree, are behind this? I think that there probably are, and honestly,
Oh
like
yeah,
that's a
there
good
are
thing in my
definitely.
opinion. I mean, like it's very obvious that Iran is like a tremendous, massive, destabilizing force, and
Oh
I
yeah.
think that Iran, being a psychopath shithole that's run by retards, probably costs everybody in the world billions of dollars.
I could not have put it in a better way than what Asman did here. Yeah, if you get rid of this regime, Hezbollah, the funding for Hezbollah, ISIS, Hamas, Houthis, they stop. Like those are stopped because the regime funds all those different terrorist groups, and also on top of that Islamic Brotherhood too. although Islamic Brotherhood was established in Egypt, but yeah, Iran funds them. If you get rid of if you get rid of the Islamic Republican regime of Iran, all of these terrorist organizations, they will eventually be defunded and they will die out gradually. It will not happen instantaneously, but it will happen gradually.
It is. It's If Iran was a normal country run by normal people, then I don't think we'd have any problems. Or so
Yeah,
we wouldn't have any problems,
I
obviously.
mean,
But like,
we would like the whole world would have less problems. Not any problems. There will always be problems, but you'd have less problems.
we would have like probably $100 billion less problems. We'd
Oh
be able to
yeah.
trade with them. We'd be able to work with them. We wouldn't need certain defense assurances. You
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
need to have as much military presence. You wouldn't need to constantly be worried about this. You wouldn't need to protect ships as much. You wouldn't have to deal with counterterrorism that's being funded indirectly by Iran. Like, you have to understand that like all of the different things that this country is done, the government has done. And again, I have to keep saying this over and over and over. It's not the country.
No,
It's
it's
not
not
the
the
people.
country. It's the
It's
regime.
the government.
It's the government.
It's
It's the
the
regime.
government that's the problem.
It's the regime that
That's
is
the
the
real
problem.
problem.
Yep.
The people sure seems like they're fine.
Yeah. The people are sick and tired of this government because their life is a shithole. Their life sucks. So it's the people. It's not the fault of the people. Don't hate common general Iranians. Hate the freaking fundamentalist radical regime because they are fucking up the whole world.
It's the same as North Korea. I think that North Korea, I
Not
mean, it's on the
like
same
North Korea.
spectrum. You're right. It would be, and you're right. It would be a great. The world would immediately become a better place if North Korea just stopped being crazy.
Yeah, but North Korea doesn't have the fund to fund terrorist organization all over Middle East, which Iran does. Iran wages on proxy war against all other Middle Eastern countries and funds terrorist groups, radical groups, Hezbollah, Houthis, ISIS, Hamas, uh, ISIS. Yeah, I mentioned ISIS. Yeah, so I don't know about Iran funding Taliban's, but I don't think they do. But yeah, but so North Korea doesn't really have that much funding because they are a poor country already. They don't have, but Iran is not a poor country. You have to understand, Iran is not a poor country. Iran is a rich country. It's just most of the resources of Iran, even after all those sanctions, they goes to terrorist organization all over the Middle East, which is Iran is essentially funding proxy wars and not really giving any money back to the people of Iran, the regime. They're keeping some of it probably for themselves and funding rest and spreading rest of it to the other terrorist organization all over the Middle East to destabilize Middle East. This is what this is why Iran is much more dangerous than North Korea. Because yeah, North Korea has nukes. Yeah, which they're never gonna like bomb anybody with nukes. At most they will give threats because they know that if they bomb one nuke, everybody else will bomb the shit out of them.
Yeah, it's similar, but it's not the same. Like, North Korea is way worse. But
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, it would
way
be
worse.
amazing. It would be great. Like, we'd save so much money. We wouldn't have to worry about that. Sure. North Koreans are pretty brainwashed, though. What would our defense contractors do without threats, though? We just go back to Africa, right? Go over somewhere else.
They yeah, they need to go to Nigeria and Venezuela and maybe Sudan.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other countries to start trouble in. Like,
Oh
look at
yeah.
it's all of South America.
Yeah.
There's all of that. Yeah, what are we talking about here? Let me see. Widening anti-government protests in Iran. Let me see if I can find any more of these that are new. Oh, this is new
shit.
too. Tehran. This is today. Day 3 of the protests. Basically, Tehran are saying this is the final battle. Pahlavi is returning and calling for shop closures.
Sorry,
And
I was
also,
yawning.
here's another big reason is that, and you can see also. I mean, this is generally always the case, but
Yeah.
many of the people that are here, besides Baldy here, many of these people are young people.
Yeah, because
And I think this is what's happening all across the world.
like I said again, like young people, like the age demographic from 18 to 35, for 17 to 35. If oh man, if that age group of people, if you fuck them over, they will fuck you over 10 times harder.
Audio is kind of bad. I'm going to turn it down a lot. So much oil in South America, basically free for the taking. I've heard about that. Yeah, Trump was talking about that, in fact. It could be as young as 35. I mean, I'd say that's pretty young, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
I mean,
35
in the
is young.
grand scheme of things. But I think that the worldwide youth revolts are against governments that are just corrupt and basically don't give people any sort of dignity anymore. Whenever you don't have the promise of dignity, of the dignity of a average life, I think that that radicalizes so many people. And
Holy shit.
it's made
Yep, that's like, yeah, that's what I've been telling. And perfectly put, Asman. Nice job, man.
people so radical, so extreme, and so angry.
Yeah.
Do you know when this kind of revolution last happened by Iran, by youth results? No, I don't. I mean, I'm not an expert in their history. I just know a little bit about it.
Yeah, they're shouting Pahlavi, Pahlavi. They're shouting the prince.
Youth today grew up watching our future be exploited and plundered before their eyes, wants retribution and change. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty extreme, but I think you're right.
Yep.
Yeah. So they just want to totally shut down the entire economy to get rid of the government. I mean, again, and also I want to bring something up because I know people will preemptively say this, especially like, detractors and people like that on Twitter. They will say, well, why am I okay with these protests happening and these people being so aggressive in Iran, but I'm not okay with people in America, like, blocking roads?
Because those people are retards, and in America, American government, the Constitution of America is designed in a way, if an oppressive government is really becoming oppressive to the common general public, you can take arms against the government, which you can't do in countries like Iran. The government oppresses a lot for decades. In America, if one government doesn't really give a shit about the common general public, hardworking average public, you can vote them out the next election. They will not stay in power for decades.
Reason why is because the people in Iran don't have democracy. They don't have a way that they can be democratically
Exactly.
represented, and they don't have a free society to where
Yeah.
they can change things by just simply organizing and affecting change.
Yep.
Like DSP, I use the
Exactly.
detractors. How about that? You like that? And so the difference is governance. So, like, really, I mean, it's okay to do this if there's no other solution. Now, if you lose the vote, I mean, you can't say, oh, there's no other solution, I keep losing. Well, that's too
Yeah.
bad.
Well,
But the
if you lose the vote because the general public doesn't really align with your ideology, that's why you're losing the vote. Duh.
problem is that really these people don't have to vote. They don't have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And to the extent that they do, it doesn't affect the change they want it to. And
Yeah.
I think this is even a conversation point that's happening more here in the United
And
States.
also another thing, okay, yep. Even if they vote, yes, there is election in Iran, there is a president in Iran. Yeah, you can vote out the president, but he can't really do anything except for the without the permission of the Khamenei, the supreme leader. So the supreme leader, you cannot really vote for the supreme leader. There's like a council or something like that who chooses the supreme leader. Like there are a bunch of clerics. It's basic. It's exactly like the papal system of Vatican City. There are a bunch of cardinals who are going to select a pope. Until the pope dies, they're going to select, when the pope dies, they will select a new pope. And without the pope giving you a heads up or a thumbs up, the president can't really do shit. The president is the figurehead. The Pope is the main guy who rules the country. So it's the same thing. The supreme cleric or the supreme leader is the guy who's actually controlling the country. The president, yeah, is democratically probably elected. He probably signs the document, but it's the supreme leader who gives him the yes, go ahead. So it's not like that, man. It's nothing like America. You can hold even the president. If you don't like the president, you can file a case against the president. You can't do that shit in Iran.
Where, like, for example, like, support of Israel is very, very hot topic. But it seems like for a lot of Republicans and Democrats, it doesn't matter what you vote on, you're still going to be supporting Israel. And
Yeah,
I think that's really something that people here are very angry about too. And I think that's why people are getting so mad. Yeah, basically, this is their only option. Yeah, they don't have any other options. That's why the
yeah,
Boston Tea Party happened, because you couldn't just vote King George out. You
yeah,
couldn't do that. You had to throw the tea in the river because that was the only way that you could resist it at all.
yeah. You can't vote out a king, duh. But you can vote out in a democratic country, you can vote out a president, but in a non-democratic country, you cannot vote out the king, you cannot vote out the supreme leader, you cannot vote out the supreme dictator. Okay, I'll give you another example. Can you vote out Putin in Russia? There are elections in Russia. There are elections in North Korea also. I mean, election with air quotes. You can't. You can't. You can't vote out Putin. You can't vote out Kim Jong Un, can you? You can't vote out Xi Jinping, but you can vote out Trump. I mean, on paper, he didn't got elected the second time when he ran, did he? He didn't. I mean, we all know the elections were rigged, but yeah, but he didn't got elected. The second time when he ran, Biden got elected. So you can, if you are dissatisfied with your leader, you can vote them out when they run for the second time. You can't do that in countries like Russia. You can't do that in countries like China, North Korea, and also in Iran. And also, it's even more ludicrous in Iran. Even if you can vote out the president, you can't really do shit about the supreme leader because the supreme leader will always be there. And the supreme leader is chosen by a bunch of other clerics. He's the he's the main cleric. He's the main pope of Iran. Bunch of cardinals, a bunch of other senior clerics choosing amongst themselves who will be the next supreme leader until his death. When he dies, they will choose another supreme leader. I mean, come on, man. You can't vote out the pope from Vatican, can you? You can't.
Like, voting is a protest, basically. And really, if you have enough people to vote, you can change the outcome. Tim
Yeah.
Walz tweeted 6 minutes ago.
Oh, what did that
Oh,
retard did?
jeez.
Ah, man, come on.
Did he finally admit that he's retarded? Did he admit it or not? Because I'm hoping that he finally just admits he's retarded. That would save everybody so much time.
Oh yeah.
And Tehran is being flooded with thousands chanting, "Oh my God!"
Holy shit. Yeah, that's a lot of
Holy!
people.
We gotta follow some of these guys. This guy's Zionism built in. I was gonna follow this guy. Jesus Christ! I wish these people would realize that, like, while I agree with them, can we please stop having all of these hyper Israel accounts making posts about this?
Yeah,
Because, like, it's really not helping the cause, guys. It's really not.
it's
Not
not.
here in America. I think people are tired of that. Why ex-communist countries love Fallout? Well, no, I'm just saying, like, that's how it is.
Yeah, because they know that their life was shit in communism. That's why they want to get rid of communism.
Flag in bio. Yeah, it's flag in bio.
Yeah.
There it is. Check location. All right, I'll check his location. Give me a minute. What if Israel's behind all of this?
It is a good thing that
Remember
Israel
when
is behind
propaganda
all
used
that.
to be subtle? No. No. What do you mean?
Propaganda is never subtle. Propaganda is always going to be up your face, in your face.
Like, well, how about nuke the Middle East for peace because of 9/11? Let's go blow up Afghanistan because a guy from Saudi Arabia attacked fucking America.
Oh man, you remember
Right? I mean, this
Bush?
is it. No, yeah. Oh, let's go to Iraq too. No,
Yeah.
fuck that. No, people don't remember the way it used to be. There used to be legitimate 100% right-wing cancel culture for anybody who was against the Iraq war, anybody who was against going to war in the Middle East, and there was like a solid 5 years that this was the case. Like
Yeah,
from 2001.
like kids don't kids never lived that through, so kids don't understand that. Like from yeah, after 9/11, things changed. America was on war path after 9/11. America needed bunch of scapegoats. I'm sorry, it needed bunch of scapegoats, and it fucked those countries.
To 2000 and I'd say 6 or 7,
Yep.
people were 100% gung-ho, mega dick, go to the Middle East
Oh
and
yeah.
fuck shit up.
All right.
That's how it
Yeah.
was. Israelis and Iranians stand together.
I bet those times, like those neocons and the weapons contractor were making shitload of money. Holy shit, they were making like shitload of money.
Let me guess.
I like the music.
So
Oh man, Israeli are
Rich and I recorded something together recently,
protesting
and
for Iran
I
and
have to
Israel.
say that I called, you know, that Instagram, this one, right? So basically, I called this song the Jewish theme song.
The Jewish jig.
I didn't know what to call it. I had no idea. I didn't know what else would you say it is? No idea.
The Jewish jiggy.
It goes hard though. It's a nice song. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's cool. You
I
can
don't know
dance
what
on
to
it.
say. And please view the comments. What?
All right, let's see. Let's see
Even the
the
ad blocker didn't work. 5 unskippable ads on my TV, making the experience authentic. The 2 ads at the start made the experience more authentic. Why does it sound so sneaky? Help, a madman is trying to kill me over $5. That's not what it says. It says, help, my son is trying to steal my last $5. It's been distorted. That's not what it was. Yeah, I know, like, obviously it's close, but it's not there. And it plays in a spawn location? Does it really? Next comment. I don't get a single ad before watching. This song was promised to me 3,000 years ago. This is the morning alarm for every U.S. senator. The smell of freshly... Okay, guys. 2 bank ads is wild. My algorithm promised this recommendation 3,000 years ago. Well, song. Nice song to listen to while shitting. By listening to the song, it's proven to your financial... Oh, God. Here we go again. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Yep. This was promised to me 3,000 years ago. My nose increased. Okay, guys. Oh, my God.
Oh, shit.
Jewish flirt. You were promised to me 3,000 years ago. Are you Israel because you were promised to me 3,000 years ago?
Holy shit, that's a hard line there. Damn, that's a hard line. That's a hard pickup line. That's an amazing pickup line. Jewish Ridge. Right
I'm gonna
there.
be honest. I think I might try that on somebody just to see what they say.
Yeah, that's a like a cold line.
Really, like I
That's an amazing pickup
tweet
line.
it right now. Well, I'm trying. Let me look at my DMs. Like, who can I message this to? Like that I won't get, fucking put on a, like I won't get a restraining order against me. I have to find like some random fucking girl that I can DM it to.
Yeah, you could
And
DM it to
send it to
Nina or
Fandy.
Hassan.
No, Fandy. Send it to Hassan.
Yeah.
No, bro.
Zionist.
No, absolutely not. Fader Vi? Yeah, no, absolutely not. Rich? No.
You know what would be amazing if you send it to Hassan to tell him to send it to Kaya? That would be amazing.
Oh, Rich would love it. I think it's fucking hilarious. $30? What do you need $20 for? Oh God! All right, guys. Yeah, what is water from Woods? Well, yeah, this is amazing, guys. And so, yeah, I called it the Jewish theme song. What can I say?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what else to say. Oh my God! Wow. Is this what they do over there? Send it to Destiny? Well, that's a girl's name, so it would make sense.
Yeah.
The account is Indian, by the way? Well, wait a minute. The account's Indian.
Really?
Proud Jewish, proud Zionist. It's in Israel.
It's in Israel.
Like, no,
it's
it's
not
in
in
Israel.
India.
There it is. Yeah, I don't know. As an Iranian, hell yeah. Send it to Quinn. Do you remember whenever I had Quinn blocked on Twitter for some reason? I wonder if that's why he was talking shit the other day, as he never forgot about that or forgave me. Maybe that's it. I swear to God it was an accident. I don't know how it happened.
And people are popping off. Man,
Military accounts? You think so? Uh-oh. Look at them all. He still noticed, I think. Yeah. Mossad outsourced propaganda to Indian bot centers. You know what's really funny is that it's like the people are so stupid, Mossad doesn't even have to do the propaganda anymore. They just send it to India or Pakistan. They're like, yeah, just tell them that,
I don't think they send it to Pakistan because
fuck, let me
Pakistan,
think.
like, it's very
Tell
Islamic.
them
They
that
hate, like, Jewish
if you
people.
don't send a bomb, Iran is going to blow up America. Tell them that. Tell them that. Yeah, say that, and then say that the Iranian oil was promised to America 3,000 years ago. Yeah, yeah, simple. That's an Erdogan. What do you mean, Erdogan? Iranians want a king. I think they want somebody. Nobody cares about whether it's a king or a president or a prime minister or a democracy. They care about the outcome.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the thing is, like,
they just want a better life for themselves and for their next generation. That's it. They don't give a shit whether it's a king, whether it's a president who does that. They don't. Honestly, if the regime catered towards people's need, they would not even hate at the regime. But guess what? The regime is a religious nut job. Too much idealistic religious nut job. They would never do something like that. So yeah.
Saudi Arabia has a king.
Yeah.
As far as I know, they're pretty happy about it.
Yeah, and
They
so
don't
is
give a
like
shit.
Qatar.
They don't care, like, because everything's
so
fine.
is Abu
Like,
Dhabi.
the problem isn't that there's a
Dubai.
king or that there's a parliament or something like that. The problem is whether it's happening or not. Is it good or not? Saudi's fucking rich. Yes, they're fucking rich. Exactly. No, I had a guy that red pilled me on monarchy. I did. This was this guy I knew from Saudi Arabia, and he said, "Listen, your politicians can be bought and paid for."
Yeah.
And he was telling me that my politicians were bought and paid for in like 2015 by Israel. And I was like,
Damn.
why would a small country like that be able to buy our president? That's retarded. Okay, yeah, whatever. All right, we'll keep going. And yeah, how about that? And so he's explaining, he's like, listen, we have a king.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about making the popular decision. He has to make the right decision.
Exactly.
And nobody can bribe him because he's fucking super rich. He's got like billions of dollars, doesn't need any fucking money. He's already in control of everything.
Damn.
So he has no incentive to act in a bad interest. So he's just going to help us out.
Damn.
And I was like, I mean, I don't think we should have a king, right? But like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know what?
There should not be any king.
Shit. That's a good point.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
have to
base
also
Sultan for
understand, like you also have to understand, like Socrates, like yeah, he's a pretty based guy and pretty knowledgeable guy. Like he used to say that democracy is dumb because yeah, let's let's put aside that politicians can be bought and stuff, but the people who vote, if most people are retards, then they will elect a retard. So you have to take that factor in too. That's one of the like disadvantage of democracy. If most people are retarded, they're gonna vote in for a retard too. Example, if Tim Walz was our vice president, yeah, imagine America then.
yeah, yeah. No, really, like I was like, yeah, you're kind of right about that, aren't you? And Iran shooting protesters now. I've heard of that, but I
Oh
didn't
man,
see
they
it
will always do
myself.
that. I mean,
And let me see if I can pull out any more of these, if that's actually an example of this. I don't want to.
like what would an authoritarian regime do to hold on its power? Yeah, shoot the protester. Duh.
Like search Iran shooting, but let me go and refresh this and see if there's anything else new. King of Thailand is pretty bad. Yeah, it's not really a big surprise. And where is this here? There's even more of these too. Iranian protests against Islamization in Europe. We escaped the Islamists in Iran. We mustn't tolerate persecution of women in Germany. It's
Damn.
terrible for us who escaped from persecution by Islamists. See, this is
Nice
the
job,
problem, really, is
sister.
that these are the people that I want to have come into America and Europe. These
Yeah,
people want to become part of Western culture.
yeah.
They are against where they were coming from, and they're looking for a legitimate, better life. This is the problem, is that this is why I'm not anti-immigration. A lot of people on the right wing now are just anti-immigration, period. I'm not.
Good.
And I see people like this, and I'm like, okay, well, this is a person that we can work with. This is a person that can be part of our community. But it's just people have just gotten so radicalized. It's really sad to see. I don't know what the hell she's saying, but yeah, a lot of Iranians here in Poland trying to live a normal life. Yeah, I know that. Like I saw a few videos about that myself. Depends on the monarch. Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly. Sometimes you get a Caesar, sometimes you get a Vlad the Impaler. I know. Yeah, it's a gotcha game, right?
Yeah. With monarchy, it's a gacha game. You might get like, yeah, you might get Reza Shah Pahlavi, or you might get, I don't know, fucking like not Chop Emperor. Oh man, yeah, Vlad the Impaler. But Vlad the Impaler helped his own country, man. He just fucked up the other people. He's not a bad emperor, I think. Or oh yeah, Emperor Nero. Oh man, that guy was not Chop.
Translation: which Islam is part of Germany, belongs to Germany? Yeah, exactly, right? Iranians
Yep.
here in Sweden are some of the biggest protesters against Islamism.
Good.
That's actually a really good point. And one of the actually, unfortunately, one of the terrorists or shooters was actually against was a an Islam hater. There are a lot of people that leave Islam and they hate it like crazy. I mean, is it really a surprise that that's the
Yeah, because lots of ex-Muslims, they don't want to be Islamic because they lived in a society, or they lived in a place where most of the people that they know are Islam, and they probably understood Islam. This is what, like, I've talked with bunch of ex-Muslims, and there are some of my friends who are ex-Muslims, and let me tell you this. One of my friend who's an ex-Muslim who said that, like, if you read the Quran and also the Hadith with knowing the meaning, not just like reading the Arabic like most Muslims do. They just read the Arabic. They just can read, but they don't know understand. But they don't understand the meaning behind the words. They can just read. If you understand the words, what does Quran means? He said to me that, like, you'll either be a extremist Islamist like the Taliban or Al Qaeda or ISIS, or you'll be an ex-Muslim. So this is the thing about extremism and Islam. And so, yeah, if you read, if you suffer through an extremist regimes like the Islamic Republic of Iran, You'll either become more fanatical, or you'll either become an ex-Muslim. And most Iranians living in the West, they don't really give a shit about Islam. They they hate it. They hate extreme fundamentalist fanatical Islam.
Case because like I mean don't we have an entire website, it's called Reddit, that's dedicated to that. So like is it really that big of a surprise that we have the same thing over in in Europe with Islam? Of course that's what's going to happen. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mormons, yeah, everybody has this. Dissident Iranians gather for a protest.
that's good.
You know what's really crazy about this to me is the fact that the media never even covers any of this. Like these protests.
Because the media is another thing about media. Yeah, the media is too much left leaning, and the left leaning ideologies, they will always support extreme radical Islamist ideology, because they think that the people from the left, they think that they could use the hardcore extremist fundamentalist fanatical Islamist to topple down the democratic government in most countries, so that they could establish communism, or so that they could establish hardcore left leaning values. But they don't understand that every time in every country there was the green and the red alliance happened. The green will take over the red and will destroy red, and will create a shithole and create a hellhole like Iran. It happened in Iran. Yeah, when they were getting rid of the monarchy, the leftist people worked shoulder to shoulder with fundamentalist extremist Islamists, the fanatical green. And guess what? When the Shah got out of Iran, or when the monarchy got out of Iran, the revolution happened. It was the fanatical Islamist who killed all the leftists. So the alliance of red and green, the red always loses, the green always wins, and it's fundamentally worst if the green wins in the alliance of red and green. It's like that always, all the time.
Tests have been going on for 3 days. Do you want to see if CNN or Fox News has uploaded anything about them?
Oh, they haven't.
Let's take a look at it.
They haven't.
Here we go. Fox
Okay,
has.
Fox has, but CNN, MSNBC, they won't.
This is about Trump bombing
Also
Iran.
BBC.
This isn't about Iran having protests or anything about Iran's protests. It's about Trump bombing them. So and Netanyahu being a great guy. So I'm not seeing anything here about Iran. They upload a lot, so I might have missed something. I don't know. I might look at this here in a minute too. I didn't watch. Is this the interview?
Oh yeah.
This is the interview. I'm going to watch the interview, but not yet. Yep, can't criticize Islam. I don't think that's what's going on. I think that the problem is that if this was happening in America, they'd be talking about how bad Islam is all day, every day.
Oh yeah.
I think the truth is that, as I said, like I've had to use the bathroom for like 5 minutes or like 10 minutes. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, and then I'll talk about it for a minute, okay? So what really kind of got me red-pilled on this is the Syria overthrowing of Assad. I didn't even know this was happening until I had a buddy of mine that lived in Syria, or no, he didn't live in Syria, his family's in Syria, he's from Syria. And he was showing me some photos, and like they're fucking tearing down these massive statues over there. Shit is totally on fire. Everything is going wrong. You've got babies inside of prisons like this.
And you have to understand, like Bashar al-Assad, the president of Syria, yeah, who lives in Russia now. He was probably the most successful dictator in modern history. He stayed on power for more than 20 years. That's like nowadays, in the age of internet, that's hard to do.
is fucking berserk. Like, it's insane because that, obviously, like, the women in the prisons get raped and then they have the
Yeah,
kids, right? And if they
yeah.
don't kill the kids are just born into a prison. Yeah, not berserk. I'm thinking Bane. And anyway, so what the fuck? Yeah, no, I'm serious. That's what was
Yeah,
happening, right?
that's
That's
what
why the
was
guy's
happening
fucking
in
stuck in Russia
Syria.
because everybody fucking hates him. He's a piece of shit. And I'm not saying the other guys are perfect, right? But either way, there's a pretty
The other guys are less shit than him. That's it. Like, I mean, the current ruler of Syria, I mean, he was he was one of the most well-known terrorists on the planet. He was like in FBI's most wanted terrorist, and also like CIA's most wanted terrorist. So yeah, I mean, yes, Bashar al-Assad was horrible, but the guy that currently is ruling Syria, well, he's no saint either.
big reason why everybody was pissed off about it. So I was like thinking about it, like this is like massive national worldwide news and or international news. And like who the fuck is talking about this? Nobody's
Nobody.
talking about this. And really, why not? Why are they not talking about this? And I think the reason why is very simple. They don't want Americans to understand or have any sort of insight into how other countries actually work. They only focus
An average American, I mean, obviously, I'm not an average American, so I have talked with average American. Average American doesn't know shit about geopolitics, doesn't really know that much about how rest of the world works. I'm sorry to say this to Americans, but I love Americans. I love America as a country. As a matter of fact, I wish to be an American. It's the best country in the freaking world. I love America. But an average American, this is, I'm also have to admit, and I also have to say that an average American doesn't even know proper geography. I know it's a meme, but they don't because they don't have the tools to know it. The media doesn't tell about it. The Yeah, the media doesn't tell about it, and also in schools, in universities, in colleges, they don't teach about it. It's very insular country. They don't really know that much about the rest of the world, how the whole world operates, honestly. What are the nuances of the other countries, other region of the world? They don't know about it because they are deprived of that information. It's not average Americans' fault, it's the institutions which the job of the institution is to inform the average Americans, it's their fault. So I'm not blaming the average American, I'm blaming the institutions like CNN, MSNBC, and also Fox. You get like if you subscribe to one of those news outlet, you get news from like if you're gonna subscribe to Fox, you're only gonna get like, oh yeah, right-wing people are the best. If you're gonna subscribe to CNN, oh yeah, left-wing people are the best. That's why like legacy media is dying because they're just giving you information, their flavor of information. They're not giving you the true essence of the information or the true actual information. Because what is the job of a news agency or a media outlet? To present the information as it is without any without like presenting it according to their light, and depending on that information, it's the common general people's job to create their own opinion. Like, yeah, I'm presenting you the facts. Depending on the facts, you form your own opinion. But here's the thing, the most news agency, they are not presenting you facts, they are presenting you with opinions, trying to create an opinion in your mind which aligns with their ideology. That's not how news agencies should work or even operate. News agencies needs to present facts, and based on the facts, the general public will form their own opinions and their own knowledge base and their own ideology. But news agencies, legacy medias, they are compromised. They are presenting you opinions. They are not presenting you with facts. They are presenting you facts sprinkled with bunch of opinions here and there, which are catered to their own individualistic ideology. Fox has an agenda of their own. CNN has an agenda of their own. MSNBC has an agenda of their own. BBC has an agenda of their own. So yeah,
focus on America, and I think that's okay in some cases, but
yeah,
you
it
should know
is.
what the fuck is going on, shouldn't you?
On the rest of the world,
You should
yes,
know
you
what's
should.
going on. Are you describing Assad or the current regime doing that shit? Assad was doing it. Maybe the current regime is still doing it.
Oh
But
yeah.
either way, I wouldn't have known about either one of them doing it if I had been paying attention to CNN. Okay, so all right, this is in I hate to say it, it's a W for CNN. They did actually cover the Iran stuff.
Oh wow. Good job,
I don't,
CNN.
very, very rarely does something like that happen. So I do think it's, good that they did that. It is
Good
good that
job,
they did that.
CNN. Good job, CNN.
They can't show that to you, that you can you can do whatever if you get enough people together. Yeah, I think that's true too. Fox News is on the front page. Does it? I don't know. Like I could look it up, but it's not on YouTube. Disgruntled employee released it. How accurate are they though? I have no idea. Like it's hard. I don't know the truth 100% either, right? Because I don't live.
Because nobody knows the truth. Because unless you're there, right there at present, nobody actually knows the truth. But this is where the news agencies came. Like that's their function. That's their primary function. Their job is to present you the facts, proven facts. Based on the facts, it's our job, the common general public's job, is to form up opinions. But news agencies throughout the whole world, they don't do that. Sorry, they became a tool of propaganda, which they should not have became. They should have, like, the reason why newspaper was invented to give you facts. But I mean, come on, even newspapers, news agencies, if they stop giving you facts and start giving you opinions, that's just, I mean, then they will become obsolete. That's why nowadays, in the age of internet, everybody has a phone, so everybody is essentially a reporter. You can present the facts that the people are present in there, and you can check it out because of websites like Twitter, Facebook. I mean, nobody's on Facebook really except for boomers, and YouTube. I mean, X, YouTube, and Reddit. I don't know about Reddit. Reddit is fucked up, deep pool of shit. Well, yeah, Twitter, YouTube, and other platforms, and yeah, you could check out the actual facts that are happening. Nobody's really reporting nowadays. People are just freaking like presenting you the actual videos, and based on the videos and the clips, you can form up your own opinion nowadays. So this is the age that we are living in. Nobody really needs to listen through like a freaking a news report. You can just check out on internet and get the fucking like the clips that will be shown in the news reports, sprinkled with little bit of opinions. Yeah, that's why like death of legacy media is not a matter of it's inevitable. It will happen. That's why that's why they are working with gambling websites and polling websites.
They don't speak their language. Uh-oh. How many people watched it? 45,000 people watched it.
Damn, that's
And
a
I think
lot.
this is a huge problem that Americans have, is that Americans don't know what the fuck is going on in the rest of the world.
Oh yeah,
They
they
have
don't.
no idea what the fuck is going on.
They
And
don't.
it's not like it's super important all the time, but you should at least have an idea. And a lot of Americans do not even have an idea of what.
Like you don't need to know all the facts. You don't need to know all the whole story. At least you can know the summary of it. That's what he's trying to say. That's what Asman is trying to say here. At least if you know the gist of it, Yeah, at least you're more well informed than any other common Joe. So you should know at least the gist of it. You should know the at least a summary of it.
What's going on? Americans don't even care either. Yeah, I mean, you should have a general concept of why, because it affects things all over the world. So, for example, if let's say like
Because the whole world is connected, as much as we like to, as like as much as we live in our own individualistic bubble, but the whole world, the whole supply chain of the whole world is connected. You got like goods coming through ships all over the oceans. So yeah, if something happens to one part of the world which disrupts the shipping lane, I'm just giving you one example, then it will affect somebody in America. Yeah, it will. If something happens in America, so the whole supply chain is disrupted for a little bit, it will affect somebody in China, it will affect somebody in India, it will affect somebody in Middle East. So as much as like this is one thing I have, I'm not been mad, but I have been like kind of like, I mean, come on, man. You need to know this about this, that you need to know about this because the whole world, as much as you want the whole world not to be connected and you want your country to be isolated, but the whole world is connected. There is a global supply chain. The whole world depends on it. The whole world, not just America, the whole world depends on it. So, in order to understand the global supply chain, you need to know about at least the gist of what's happening in different region of the whole world. Not all the facts, but you need to know a little bit about it. At least the summary of it.
if China invades Taiwan, do you think that that's going to affect chip prices whenever one of the main manufacturers for chips is in Taiwan? Yeah, I think you should fucking know that,
Yeah,
right? And like if you have investments, if you're involved in finance,
and also in Iran, like Iran is the largest producer of saffron. Saffron is the most expensive spice in the whole wide world. So something happens in Iran, it's gonna affect at least in the spice market. Yeah, so it matters. In the end, it matters.
if you know any of this, you need to know this shit because there's a domino effect of it, right?
Oh
There
yeah,
is.
there is a
And so
huge domino
that's
effect
just
of
a
it.
recent example, the first one that comes right off the top of my head. So, yeah, I don't eat chips anymore. You know what? All right.
Yeah, I think he wanted to say that guy, fuck you, but he just didn't.
How about that? To be fair, some of the news outlets offer a global news service separate from their U.S. coverage. Ah, that's fair. That's a fair analysis.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm being
okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair analysis. Yeah.
unfair.
Holy shit, that's a
There's a lot of
lot
people.
of people. Damn, man. Damn.
Some Americans don't even know what's going on inside of America. That's why I don't want them to vote. That's exactly why I don't want them to vote.
That's why, like, okay. And that's why, earlier when I said, like, if there are a bunch of retards, that's like one shortcomings of democracy. If there are a bunch of retards, they're gonna vote in a retard. That's one of the shortcomings of democracy. That's why Socrates didn't like democracy. If you got bunch of retards, they're gonna vote in a retard in office.
Yeah, 100%. Largest protest in the last 3 years. I hope it's enough to make an impact. It is. And I actually wish that I kind of wish Israel was a little bit more quiet about this because I think that them talking about it is going to poison the well. I guess maybe a lot of times I should say that, but like maybe not that time. But like yeah. Reza Shah. Oh, that's his name. Yeah. They're chanting
Sorry,
this is
guys,
the
I was
last
getting
battle.
some water.
Yeah, I've seen it. Well. Some governors claim
Holy
they
shit, hang on.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was
I've
saying?
seen it.
As long as mullahs aren't dead, fuck me, they're demanding for all the mullahs. Mullahs are basically the clerics to die. Damn, man. People are really pissed off of Islam in Iran. Damn, man.
Well, well, well. Some governors claim they don't even know where their budgets went. I've heard about them. Check Al Jazeera America. Yeah, Al Jazeera does a great job covering these conflicts, but I just don't like their agenda, but I do like their coverage. I think they do great coverage.
Yeah, thing about Al Jazeera is they have an agenda. They do very good coverage, but their agenda is like screaming out, like whenever they cover things. Their agenda is like very loud and very clear. So yeah.
This is the year of blood. Saeed Ali will be toppled. Oh my
Damn.
god.
Yeah.
Last time protests happened in 1979, know if they're the CIA coup government? Yeah, apparently. Somebody else from Iran said that that wasn't true.
Neither Gaza or Lebanon give my life,
I'd have to look into
gave my life for Iran. I give my life for Iran. Do you know why they're saying that? Because the common people know that that the regime is funding fucking money to like into Hamas in Gaza and also in Hezbollah in Lebanon and Houthis in Lebanon also. Yeah, near Lebanon, I think. My geography might be a little bit weak there. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, they know that the regime is funding proxy wars all throughout Middle East, and they don't want to fund those shit. They want their money back in reinvested into their country. That's why. so, so yeah, that's why protests are like this gonna happen because Iran is a rich country. Iran is a very ancient and very old country, and it's supposed to be a rich country, but they're not because most of the monies the radical regime is funding on proxy wars all throughout Middle East. Fucking hell, man.
it and read it myself. I don't believe this protest is as big as what they're saying. They want the U.S. to intervene for
Shit.
real this time. So you think that they're manufacturing the size of the protest and like the severity of it in order to try to influence, to kind of like, it's like they're view botting it basically, right? Where they're view botting it so it looks like it's really popular, but it's actually not that popular.
I think like I said, I've talked with a bunch of Iranian people, like several Iranian people throughout my life. So yeah, I'm by the way, I'm 33 by the way. So yeah. So I think it's not they're not view botting it. Yeah, they're not like making it that oh yeah the protests are huge. No, the protests are huge. Like most people in Iran, they're sick and tired of this regime. It's a fact. I'm sorry, it's a fact. I'm not sorry. I'm actually glad it's a fact.
Is this big enough to topple their government? Um, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when with their government.
Yep,
It's
exactly.
clearly dying. The
Yep.
sanctions are draining all of the
Yeah, like he said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Maybe not this one, but the next one after this, maybe not even next one after this, maybe the one after that, the next one. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because when you work hard the whole week and you can't even buy bread for your own kids and for your own family, I mean, come on, like hardworking people not even able to buy food for their kids. Like you might go hungry for yourself. Okay, think about it like this: if you have a family of four, like a husband and a wife and two kids, average household, you might go hungry once in a day. Your wife might go hungry once in a day, but you at least want to feed both of your kids three times a day. But if you can't even do that, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, do you want to live a life like that where you can't even put food for your kids? Where and it's not like that you're a bum, that's why you can't do that, but you're working hard. You're working hard as like you can be. you physically and you mentally can, but you still can't put food on the table for your kids, would you like support a government who creates a system like that, who creates a society like that? You won't. You would get rid of that government ASAP as soon as you like can, because you want to put food for your kids, if not for yourself, if not for your spouse, if not for mom and dad, at least for your little kids you want to put food for. And but if you can't do that even after doing back-breaking hard work, yeah, that just doesn't happen. That's just like that. That's not a society nobody wants to live in. I'm sorry.
life and money out of the economy. They don't have water anymore. Everything is too fucking expensive. The
Yeah.
country is a shithole. And it used to look like New York. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not New York. It used to look like New Jersey. It used to look like a nice, beautiful city in America.
It used to look like a civilized, westernized, amazing country where everybody had more than plenty, because they know that what their grandfather's generation had versus what they have now. Why wouldn't they be angry at the government?
And then these retard fucking religious people took over, and it turned into a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Places in Tehran still are actually quite nice now.
Oh, yeah. Because it was built in the past when the country was actually prospering. Now, the religious, fundamentalist, fanatic guys, they fucked it up. They fucked it up to freaking 18th century, to medieval time. Like, imagine, okay, okay. Try to imagine this. You know that your grandparents lived in like in 70s. If you could imagine your grandparents in 70s had a better life than you when they were your age, where your life is like the freaking middle age, like 1100s life, or like the freaking your life is kind of like from medieval Europe time or medieval time. Would you want to live a life like that? You know that your grandparents in the 70s had a better lifestyle as a young guy than you do now in 2024 or in 2026. Yeah, you wouldn't want to live a life like that. You wouldn't want to live a society like that. You would either want to escape, and if you can't escape, guess what? You want to fix the society. You want to topple the government because the government made this shit mm, even unbearable, made life unbearable as it is. Because life is hard, but if you make it unbearable, fuck that. And that's what happens when the church and the state is not separated. When a state or when a country is run by a bunch of extremist, radicalist, fundamentalist, Islamist mullahs and clerics. That's what happens. That's what happened in medieval times in Europe too, where the church was extremely powerful over kings and nobles. So that's why the separation of church and state needed to happen. That's why fundamentally the state needs to be run by democratically elected people. Because when the democratically elected people are running the state, they have an incentive to do some progress. Because if they don't, the next time the voting comes around, they're not gonna be on the power. They will not get re-elected. So in order to get re-elected, they will need to do some reforms, or they will need to take some steps where the society at least will progress in some aspects. But if you don't have the incentive to re-election, and you're driven by an ideology which is fundamentalistic and fucked up and backward, yeah, it, it's not going to happen. You create a society like Iran, despite being one of the richest country on the planet, in the 70s, it became like a shithole where you can't even get water or electricity.
But that's the vast minority of the country. I'm from Iran. I'm living in Milan. More than 90% of people hate Islam and a false government in Iran. Oh, damn. I think that guy got timed out. He got spammed. Yeah, sorry about that. And anyway, if you've seen New York lately, it makes Tehran look good. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff over there is pretty bad. Check Iran before and after revolution video. No, I know all about it, right? But, not all about it, but I know a lot about it. Being chanted, different audio, make it sound like it's shouting slogans in support of the Shah. I'm not even sure, right? And let's see here. Students launched a hunger strike. I wouldn't. I honestly, like, I would do a lot of things. I wouldn't do.
Honestly, hunger strike is not gonna do. Now it's like eat more food and like fucking throw rocks at the government office. Honestly, that's now like this is not the time for peaceful protest. This is the time for hardcore protest.
A hunger strike. I'm fucking hungry. I gotta eat some food. For a second, I thought that, bro, I'm gonna be real. I thought that was an Arabic Wendy's. For some reason, like, I look at that and I'm like, oh, it kind of reminds me of Wendy's. Like, they have Wendy's in Iran? Wait, what's this?
Really? Do they have undis in Iran? I don't know.
Same? Yeah. Okay, I'm not the only person. In a brain rot? Yeah, a little bit, right? Maybe they should have a Wendy's. Do they deserve a Wendy's? I think they deserve a Wendy's,
Yeah,
guys.
they deserve a
What's
Wendy's
this?
for sure.
But, well, I guess, if it's a Muslim country, maybe you don't have baconators on the menu, right? But, or like, that's like a forbidden item. And let's see if there's any more that are worth looking at here. But yeah, did Kalamani tweet anything? Probably that Israel is probably another AI video of him blowing up Israel. Like, I could imagine that. I think that's
Yeah.
definitely possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably another
That's a
video of
pharmacy? Is it-
him like blowing up Israel and also America with nukes. He's probably tweeting that shit from his bunker where Israel will make tweet that he's like making that tweet in the bunker uh, cradling a rat.
If you want more information, it's a Iranian streamer called Coexer at Kick. He'll talk more info if you want right now. Yeah, tell him I really appreciate it. I mean, I'm not really looking to get involved in it that much. And, like, also, I'd tell him to be safe, man. Like, because I wouldn't want to ask him questions. Like, honestly, this might sound weird, but, like, I wouldn't want to talk to somebody from Iran that was identified
Yeah,
at all. Because, like, I'd be
because you don't want to put them in a situation where their life is in danger. Well, the life might be in danger because it's fucking Iran under the Islamic Republic, but you don't want to put him in more danger of their life, you know?
afraid of that person somehow incriminating themselves and then facing a repercussion from their government.
Yeah.
Like, even if they think that wouldn't be a problem, like, I would still feel guilty even taking advantage of that.
Yeah, true. True that.
Yeah, like, that's, yeah, I'll be targeted. Exactly, right? I mean, like, that's why I never really have talked to somebody from, like, China or somebody else like that, even though China's a lot less like that. But, it's like broadcasting something like that could put them at, any sort of a risk. And I just feel like that's not, it's just not the right thing to do. Another student's protest in Tehran, the same guy from earlier, praises the flag of Iran and says that if you're seeking the righteous, that right here is righteous. He says his flag is superior. And it will not only win terror, his chants were widely supported by the other support. So, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back. What have I said about protests in other countries?
Yeah, they have their own flag.
Remember when Hassan said that Iranians love their government? So the official
He
government
lied. He's a
polls and a lot of the
dumbass.
Iranian data that's provided does show that Iranians love the government, but third-party polls and third-party data
Yeah.
shows that less than 20% of the population approves of the government.
Okay, like you saw the North Korean what's this called? North Korean parades where Kim Jong Un waves his hand and bunch of people are swooning over him and crying and shit like that. Like everybody knows that. Yeah, really. Like everybody knows that shit's like forced. So for Hassan to say that, yeah, the Iranian people love their government, if they really love their government, why would they fucking protest against the government? and ask for mullahs to be dead. Like, really?
Yep, there's only one flag.
That's a guy who loves
And if
his
there's two
country.
flags, it's the one piece flag. Yep. No fat people in the crowd. That's how you know they're actually poor.
And guess what? There are no like blue-haired or green-haired people on the street also. That's why you know that there are no leftist or woke, fucked up woke liberals there who's doing like protest for annoying shit.
Yep.
Yeah, you go, guy. You go. Hell yeah, you go.
Ooh,
Yes.
they're loving it.
You go. Yes. Fuck yeah. Yes. I agree with him. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I don't understand him, but I agree with him.
Damn. Well, that's good.
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
glad to see this. No fat homeless people in Iran. I wonder why. How can they call us a protest without any Palestine flags? See, like, I don't understand like the culture over there, but like it sure seems like a lot of people in the Middle East don't like Palestine either.
They don't.
Like I don't really
They
know. I know
don't.
that like Lebanon had like that thing happen, and so did Egypt, right? Where they had like a militia group. But
They don't because when Palestinian refugees in they like when some Middle Eastern countries took Palestinian refugees, like particularly happened with Jordan, they kind of wanted to get rid of the monarchy of Jordan. The Palestinian refugees wanted to get rid of the monarchy in Jordan, which the Jordanian people didn't like they didn't hate the monarchy. So that's why most of the Middle Eastern countries they are not gonna accept any Palestinian refugees, even if Israel flattens Palestine, even if Israel flattens Gaza, they are not gonna accept any Palestinian refugees because Palestinian refugees, if they go into any country, they will create ghettos and they will try to create they will fucking try to kick the government out and establish their version of government or their version of rulers onto the government. So most of the Middle Eastern countries, they will never take Palestinian refugees and they kind of hate Palestinians, which is ironical that woke liberals, blue hair woke liberals in America or in England, like leftist people, they love Palestine and they want to like take as much as Palestinian refugees that they can in their country because they love Palestine. But they don't know that what are the repercussions of that. Because I'm not blaming all Palestinian people that yeah they would do that. It's their nature. I'm not blaming that, but it's a proven track record and it's a pattern because they are radicalists. They are radical and fundamentally radically ideologically driven. They want to establish Sharia. I'm sorry, but they do. Yeah. Because most likely, when you get Palestinian refugees, you'll not only just get Palestinian refugees, you'll also get Hamas. So if you're gonna import bunch of terrorist sympathizers or actual terrorists who will disguise themselves as Palestinian refugees instead of like instead of common Palestinian people who just wants to live a life where they're safe, why would you take any chances and get Palestinian refugees there might be Hamas or Hamas sympathizers within that refugee group? Why would you take that chance? Why would you take that chance? You wouldn't you?
yeah, I didn't. Yeah, they don't. They do not like them at all.
No, they don't.
Why? So basically, whenever they used to take, was it Jordan? I forgot which one.
Yeah, it was Jordan.
And I'm
It
not.
was Jordan.
This is like I'm talking about a generality, right? And like this is just something I've observed, like because a lot of people in the U.S. like this is my impression initially was that this was like a disaffected people that everybody in the region kind of had like a shared sympathy for. And
No, they
looking more into
don't.
the history, it seems like that's not really as much of the case that I originally thought. Iran sponsored Hamas in the past. Yeah, they did.
Iran still sponsor Hamas. Not in the past, they still sponsor Hamas. October 7th, they sponsor Hamas. They still sponsor Hamas.
One of the slogans was no to Gaza, no to Lebanon, my life for Iran.
Yeah.
There you go. We hate Muhammad 211. We hate Palestine.
See,
I don't know, man. Listen, like, yeah, y'all got your own problem. Like, listen, over there, it's the same as like fucking China, Japan, and Korea. Like the Asian racism, like the Arab racism. Listen, we have white people racism here. I only really understand white people racism.
yeah.
That's it. Were refugees and resistance group formed in neighboring countries? Yeah, basically. It was in like the 1970s, like PLA or something like that.
Yep, PLA. Yep.
And then that's why they don't take refugees.
Yeah,
Iran
because they learn from their mistakes and they're not going to repeat the mistakes, which the West and the left and the liberals they don't. They will welcome refugees in droves, like what Angela Merkel did in Germany. Fucked up Germany, and Germany is facing the repercussion of that decision now.
sponsors all terrorist groups. Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying it'll be great that, if this ever gets removed. Iranians are not Arab? Really?
Yeah,
I always assumed that Iranians were primarily Semitic. PLO. PLO, right. Yeah, I forgot what it was. It was Palestinian Liberation. I thought it was it was Army, but like maybe something else. They're Persian?
yes.
I don't know. I might sound like an asshole
Iranians are not Arabs. Iranians are Persian. They're Central Asian.
for saying this, but like I didn't know that there was an ethnic difference. I genuinely didn't. I had no idea. Like I thought I thought these were just interchangeable. But yeah. So the same thing. Yeah, they're different. Well, I bet they probably are not different, but as like a I'm a white person, okay? Like, to me it might seem the same, but yeah, obviously it's very different. I just don't know that. Racist, of course, right? But again, I think that a lot of people probably this has always been like a viewpoint that I've had. This is why I just ask the questions and I just say it because I think that there's a lot of other people that like they don't really know, right, one way or another. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking these questions or saying stuff like this. Nothing wrong at all. A small number of mercenaries linked to Israel and the United States who had infiltrated the crowd started attacking shopkeepers who didn't want to close their shops. It sounds like Iran military media.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same website.
Straight
They do all kinds of
propaganda,
bullshit, right? I wouldn't
Straight
even pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And where is this? We'll see if there's anything else that's worth looking at. But yeah, that seems like everything for this situation.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So it was a lovely video. Long. Oh, fuck. 2 hours. Damn, man. I didn't notice that. Sorry, but it's gonna be a long one. But if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you. And I'm sorry there was a bunch of noise because there was some construction noise. Sorry about that. Yep. And this is what I want to say. Bye.